Bad Video Games is back. Dave is playing. Dave is playing. Well, I'll let Dave tell you guys. What are you playing, mate?
I'm playing an absolute horror show of a terrible, of an awful, of a brilliant, actually no, brilliantly bad, Carmageddon on the Nintendo 64.
This looks... I don't know. I won't say it looks dreadful. I haven't played this game before. I didn't know that this was considered a bad video game. Dave told me it was. He's like, Mike, let's check that one out. So here we are. What makes it bad, mate?
Well, for one thing, the way this car drives, the handling of the car is dreadful. It's all over the place. Everything just feels super light, super fast. It's not good, especially if you've ever played the PC original Carmageddon, which in the future, so I'm ruining it for everybody, we will check it out on a retro PC.
So what's the objectives here? I've never played any Carmageddon games.
So it's to go through the checkpoints, but also to kill as many, it would be people in the original Carmageddon, but in this, because it's Nintendo, they soften it down, it's to kill zombies, run zombies over.
Okay, that's fair, that's fair. How do you think it looks from a graphical standpoint? I mean, the N64 surely was capable of doing a bit better than this.
I would have thought so. This looks awful. It really does. I mean, there's all these jagged lines instead of nice corners. The graphics look dull. It just looks poor.
It looks like everything's cardboard and like everything's perfectly straight. It looks like you're driving around some cardboard. It looks ridiculous.
It does, yeah. And the track, this particular track is boring, it's dull, it's uninspiring, it's very flat. That isn't the case on Carmageddon on the PC.
Yeah, let's touch on that just briefly then, mate. Was that where this series started?
Yeah, it started on the PC, I think it was around about 1997, if memory serves me correctly. I actually played it back in the day because a friend of mine who had a decent PC at the time had this game, and it was awesome. It was a lot of fun to play.
That's interesting. So, as we always do, guys, on Bad Video Games, or we try to do, take a look at some reviews from back in the day. So Carmageddon... No, that's not going to be no good. I need to get Carmageddon 64 reviews. That was just normal Okay. Yeah, the C64, the N64 version of this on IGN, when they've gone back and had a look at this on their sort of retro review section, I've never seen a score this low, ever, at IGN. And IGN are generally pretty easy reviewers. They hand out 9s and 10s like candy. This scored a 1.3 out of 10 at IGN. This version.
1.3?
Yes. They don't say why.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I can't find any description or explanation with their review, any little blurb. Let's see what the fandom wiki has to say, because sometimes that will give you a bit more, or it goes a little bit more in depth. So, I'm going to scroll in here. Apparently you're driving around Beaver Airport. So there you go. In case anyone cares. Okay.
Yeah.
There's only one level of difficulty in this version, whereas the PC version has 3.
Yeah.
It doesn't... Oh, it does. I was going to say it doesn't go into the reception. So here's the reception, guys. The world in general gave Carmageddon 64 the kick-in of its life when it was released. People were advised to stamp on any cartridges they could find. Terrible controls, bad visuals, bad, awful sound. It had the works. IGN gave the game 1.3 out of 10, calling it ridiculously poor software farted out as a quick, sloppy port. And worse than Superman 64, shameless plug. I've already featured that on Bad Video Games. Check that video out. GameSpot gave it quite a high score, actually. They gave it a 2.1 out of 10, stating that Carmageddon 64 has absolutely nothing going for it. The game is rated 28.5% on aggregate site games rankings. It's not even made the list at Metacritic, so it's that bad. People don't even want to waste their time on Metacritic listing this game. So here's a new stage here. And
what was weird is it let me go before the timer counted down.
Did it?
Strange. Yeah, it did. Let me start driving off before he counted down. Weird.
So it's just a stinky, bad... It's a bad video game. It is what it is.
And terrible game this is.
Can you imagine back in the day? I would have been relatively young around the N64. I was working part-time. I was a student in college. And if I'd paid 45, 50, whatever cost the games were on N64, I can't remember the prices of them. But yeah, if I'd picked this up and got this home, and I did like my car games, guys, as Dave does, my races and anything related to cars in my video games, I'd be devastated with this.
Same as. I would have absolutely hated this. And then if a friend of mine had shown me their PC version, which would have happened, I would have felt absolutely pig-sick.
I mean, look how barren and empty everything looks. It's a bit like a tech demo of a beta of a potential video game.
It does. It looks like an alpha of Carmageddon
Yes.
on the N64. They've only got half the game actually in place.
Yeah, like I say, it looks like a tech demo. You're just messing around, like, not even a half-finished game. Like, it just looks dull as dishwater to play as well.
It feels it, mate. It's terrible. As I say, the way the car steers is really snappy, but in a bad way, a very bad way. It's dull. It's horrifically bad. You have to avoid this version. If you're going to play Carmageddon, play the PC version. Do yourselves a favour.
There you go, guys. And on that note, this has been Bad Video Games. I forgot what game the series was called then. I nearly said this was old school. This wouldn't make the cut on old school.
No, it wouldn't.
Dave, thank you for enduring this again. I'm glad I finally got to see this monstrosity. I won't be playing this. Look out for more content coming to the channel, guys. We've got loads of stuff planned. And we'll speak to you all soon.